Hurricane warning in effect. A hurricane watch has been upgraded to a hurricane warning for the following counties: in Florida, coastal Volusia, inland Volusia, northern Brevard, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, and southern Brevard. Hurricane warning remains in effect. A hurricane warning remains in effect for the following counties: in Florida, Indian River, Martin, Okeechobee, and St. Lucie. Hurricane warning in effect. The National Weather Service in Melbourne has issued a hurricane warning. The hurricane watch is no longer in effect. Winds: as Major Hurricane Matthew moves closer, the threat for sustained high winds will increase. The latest forecast is for strong tropical storm force winds to develop Thursday morning into the afternoon. Hurricane force winds are expected to develop from Thursday evening into Friday. Seas will likely begin to increase as early as Wednesday afternoon and peak Thursday night and Friday to 35 to 40 feet offshore. Mariners are advised to return to port by Wednesday afternoon and make all preparations to secure their vessels. A hurricane warning means sustained winds of 64 knots or higher associated with the hurricane are expected within 36 hours. A hurricane warning can remain in effect when dangerously high water or a combination of dangerously high water and exceptionally high waves continue, even though winds may be less than hurricane force. Hurricane warning in effect. The National Weather Service in Melbourne has issued a hurricane warning. The hurricane watch is no longer in effect. Winds: as Major Hurricane Matthew moves closer, the threat for sustained high winds will increase. The latest forecast is for strong tropical storm force winds to develop Thursday morning into the afternoon. Hurricane force winds are expected to develop from Thursday evening into Friday. Seas will likely begin to increase as early as Wednesday afternoon and peak Thursday night and Friday to 35 to 40 feet offshore. Mariners are advised to return to port by Wednesday afternoon and make all preparations to secure their vessels. A hurricane warning means sustained winds of 64 knots or higher associated with the hurricane are expected within 36 hours. A hurricane warning can remain in effect when dangerously high water or a combination of dangerously high water and exceptionally high waves continue, even though winds may be less than hurricane force. The latest tropical cyclone advisory, Powell Hurricane Matthew heading for the Bahamas after hitting Cuba hard. NOAA and Air Force Hurricane Hunter planes simultaneously penetrate Matthew's eye. At 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the eye of Hurricane Matthew was located near latitude 21.8 north, longitude 75.2 west. Matthew is moving toward the northwest near 12 miles per hour, and this motion is expected to continue during the next 24 to 48 hours. On this track, Matthew will be moving across the Bahamas through Thursday and is expected to be very near the east coast of Florida by Thursday evening. Maximum sustained winds are near 120 miles per hour with higher gusts. Matthew is a Category 3 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Some strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days, and Matthew is expected to remain at Category 3 or stronger while it moves through the Bahamas and approaches the east coast of Florida. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 175 miles. An unconfirmed wind gust of 155 miles per hour was reported in Baracoa, Cuba, last night as the eye of Matthew passed nearby. The minimum central pressure reported by both Hurricane Hunter planes was 962 millibars, 28.41 inches. Tropical weather outlook. Issued at 1:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, the National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Hurricane Matthew, located between Cuba and the Bahamas, and on Tropical Storm Nicole, located several hundred miles northeast of Puerto Rico. A tropical wave is producing a large area of cloudiness and showers several hundred miles east of the Windward Islands. Development of this system is not expected during the next few days while it moves westward at 15 miles per hour, but some development could be possible when the wave reaches the southwestern Caribbean Sea early next week. Locally, heavy rains and gusty winds are possible in the Windward and southern Leeward Islands during the next couple of days as the wave moves through the area. Formation chance through 48 hours, low, near 0%. Formation chance through 5 days, low, 20%. Major Hurricane Matthew is currently moving to the northwest over the southeastern Bahamas and is forecast to move very near or along the east coast of Florida Thursday evening and Friday. Matthew is an extremely dangerous hurricane that has potential to produce widespread to extensive damage, especially over the coastal counties of east central Florida. Do not focus on the exact track, as small changes to the track may bring significant changes to the local impacts across east central Florida. Now is the time to act. Everyone should bring their hurricane preparations to completion today. Conditions are expected to rapidly deteriorate initially across the Treasure Coast Thursday afternoon before spreading north and northwest Thursday night into Friday. The relatively close approach of Hurricane Matthew to east central Florida will bring a period of damaging hurricane force winds to the coast overnight Thursday night and into Friday afternoon. Inland counties will also see a likelihood of sustained tropical storm force winds roughly from Metro Orlando eastward, with possible gusts to hurricane force and squalls from late Thursday night and into Friday morning. A moderate threat of hazardous storm surge inundation exists along the barrier islands, with dangerous storm surge flooding of 3 to 5 feet above ground expected. Large breaking waves are forecast to peak over 12 feet and produce rough, pounding surf, resulting in a significant hazard of coastal flooding along with very severe beach and dune erosion. Heavy rain will occur in squalls across east central Florida Thursday into Friday. Rain amounts of 4 to 7 inches will be possible, with locally higher amounts, especially along the coast. Soil saturated in some areas from recent rains will quickly produce water ponding. Standing water in flood-prone areas will be capable of entering homes and businesses during this event. Residents and visitors to east central Florida are strongly encouraged to monitor the latest track and intensity forecasts from the National Hurricane Center Situation Overview. The next local statement will be issued by the National Weather Service in Melbourne, Florida around 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or sooner if conditions warrant. Serving Melbourne and vicinity, this is NOAA Weather Radio Station WXJ70, the voice of the National Weather Service. This broadcast comes to you from the National Weather Service office in Melbourne, Florida, on a frequency of 162.55 MHz. A required weekly test of the NOAA Weather Radio Public Warning System is conducted each Wednesday between 11 a.m. and noon, and again between 6 and 8 p.m. If severe weather is expected, this test will be postponed until the following day.